Ciao a tutti and welcome back to the Italian-American program Italy-Echo hosted by Viviana Dragani. Today I'm very pleased to host for the second time on this show Stefano Pishner of the Italian-American band Amici. So Stefano, tell us about your Italian heritage first and foremost.
Well, my heritage comes from Calabria. My grandparents all came from two different cities. One is called San Giovanni in Fiore in the provincia di Cosenza, and the other one's called Cavalogna in the provincia di Reggio di Calabria. And both sets came from Calabria to the United States. They landed in New York City. They ended up in West Virginia. My grandfathers worked in the coal mines, and my grandmothers raised lots of kids, had gardens, and produced long living families. And that's why I'm talking to you because they took that risk to come to America. They came in the early 1900s, and they didn't speak English, and actually they spoke more dialect than they spoke Italiano. But they did well. They raised their families. They helped the church a lot, and had big gardens and fed families and stayed together. And that's after so many years. You look at that. Like a life. It's like a legacy. So that's why I continue to do what I do with all the things that I do that are Italian.
Beautiful, thank you. And do you still have relatives in Italy?
I do. I have on my father's side, many of them came, even to some of the great grandparents. But a lot of them came to the United States and settled in different places. Many in West Virginia, some in Pennsylvania too. But on my mother's side, many of them stayed, and so they were there, and I got to meet every one of them. Back in 1984, I started making trips and finding people and making connections. But to this day, they have a few generations that are there, and we talk on the phone, we talk online, we remain connected. Calabria is next door for me, so.
Thank you. And now tell us about your band, Amici. What do you guys play?
Oh, well, the band began in 1984. Two of us are originals, and we play a lot of contemporary top 40 music and some country and some standards, but we also specialize in Italian and Italian American music. And so we just we go wherever we can. We play in festivals, we play in parades, we play for weddings and parties and special events, and sometimes we do shows in theaters and things like that. But we can do an all Italian show, or we can do an all American show, or we can do a mix of both. There are four of us. Well, one plays bass, one plays guitar, drums, and keyboards for me. And so Mark Donaldo plays drums. He's also a chef. Chris Tassis plays bass guitar. He's one of the originals. Jewel Carambera plays guitar, and I play keyboards. But we all sing and make it work. And so for four of us, there's a lot of music that comes off the stage.
Wow, wonderful. So I know that you guys have performed in New York City in 2024. How did that come about?
Well, the New York gig was one of, years ago I had gone to the Columbus Day Parade with my wife and a friend, and we went to the parade. And I thought, I watched what they were doing, and I thought, I do the same thing at home in Clarksburg, West Virginia, for the Italian Heritage Festival on Labor Day weekend every year. And you just basically put the band on a truck and you go down the street and you play and you sing Italian songs. So I thought, we could do this. And I was asking a guy who performed on the red carpet, which is all part of a parade route. His name is Anthony Nunziata, who's a great singer, and he's traveling all over the United States singing. And I said, Anthony, I think we could do this job. And he said, well, let me give you some numbers, and then you give them the call, or send them an email and see what you can do. So I did, and for a while I couldn't get the person's email, didn't work, and I left messages, and then finally one day, woman called me back. Her name was Karen DeMasi, and she goes, I produce the parade. She goes, I'm interested in what you do. Tell me about what you do. And I told her. She goes, me a video as quick as you can. So I sent her a video of us playing an Italian festival here in Clarksburg and some other places. And a few days later, I got a call. She goes, we want to see you on the red carpet stage. So we took the band to New York in 2024, and they said, not only do we want you to like play a solo on ABC 7 television live, but we want you to be the house band. So every time we go to commercial or come back from commercial, you're going to be the house to keep the crowd going, and because there are bleachers and things where people can sit on the side where across from where the stage is. But then the parade comes down the street, and then where we were, they actually had red carpeting on the street. And so the stage sat right there, and that's what we played. So we played every time we went to break, and when it came back, and then we played a solo piece at the end, and a great time. And the solo piece that I did on TV was a big, rousing contemporary version of Ose Mio, because I thought, you know what, they said do something very Italian, and I thought, well, that's as much energy as I can muster up on those high notes and hold them out, forever. And the people just ate it up, and it was a great day. It was a great day. Then we got invited back in 2025, and unfortunately, there was a terrible storm that came, and the entire thing was canceled in the first time in 80 years.
That's
And
too
this
bad.
year, we're invited back again, but not for the stage. This year, we're on a float for the Columbus Citizens Foundation, which is a marvelous foundation. They do a lot of good work there. And so they're going to have this huge float, you could say. We're going to put the band on the float, and we're going to sing for about 30 blocks down Fifth Avenue. And they expect 1 million people to be spectators. It will also be live on television, and it's just going to be great because we're singing live coming down Fifth Avenue. I don't think any Italian who got off the boat thought that their ancestor would ever be singing coming down Fifth Avenue Italian songs in their honor.
That's terrific, Stefano. Congratulations on this achievement.
Grazie. Grazie. Thank you.
Prego. I have a last question for you. I am very
Sure.
curious about your new radio show.
So I was sending some things out as I always do for the band, and I sent some music and I sent an email and some music and some information to Johnny Anello. And Johnny Anello lives in New York City sometimes, he lives in Los Angeles sometimes. And I said, you have this hub of shows called the Italian American Radio. And I said, if you could play any of the things that we play, I said I would truly appreciate it. So he said, well, call me. So I called him, and he says, yeah, I could play some of these songs. He said, but he says, I think you need to do your own radio show. And I thought, I don't know if I got time for this, Johnny. He said, well, do one. Let's see how it goes. So I sent him one show, and I entitled it Amici Street. And it's gotten some nice reviews. And then I sent a second one. So if you go to ItalianAmericanRadio.com, one of them is archived on there. You just look at Amici Street, but there are a bunch of others that are on there. And Johnny's a well-established and well-trained mandolinist, and he also plays music for movies, and he does a million other things, and he runs this radio hub, and it's a 24/7 station that he has, 27, 365, Italian American radio, and anything from music to comedy to heritage to Italian traditions, anything, all things Italian. And you can hear it all the time for free online. And they have it in 15 countries now. So it really worked out for me because I put the music of Amici, my band, on the show. And then I talk about other kinds of things that are Italian or of my heritage or things that I know or things that I want to promote in the Italian American community as much as I can. And it's heard in 15 countries, including Italy and Australia as well.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations, Stefano. Thank you
Thank you.
for joining us today. And what would you like me to play from Amici's repertoire?
Let's see. I'm not sure everything that you have, but you might want to use. There's a piece called Per ricominciare, which was the Italian version of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, that I don't know that many Italian Americans or Italians know that this song exists, but it's a
I
Frankie
didn't
Valli hit.
know. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's a Frankie. See, there we go. It's a Frankie Valli song, and it was redone in Italian. And you can also find it I've heard it in movies before, and I heard it in one not too long ago. And I thought, you know what? I wonder if anybody knows that this song actually was released in Italy with Italian lyrics, and it's beautiful. And it's a great piece because the Italian Americans say, "Oh, that's Frankie Valli," and the Italians go, "Hey, these are the words for per ricominciare. We know this song." So hopefully it's something that your audience will enjoy. But I really enjoyed being with you today, and it's good to be back on your show.
Thank you so much. And now, guys, stay tuned because we're going to play Per ricominciare. Grazie.